You know I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in entertainment, reality TV, sports, media, modeling, and so much more. Nick Durst here, and I'm very excited for the special guest today who is a model. He is a reality TV star. He's a music video star. This guy has done it all. Welcome to the show, Andrea Denver.
Hey, Nick, how are you? Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. And I can't wait to chat together and have some fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So, obviously, you're Italian, so you know all about really good, fine food and everything like that. So, we're going to start off with this: love, marry, kill, pizza, pasta, or chicken parmesan.
Okay. Love, marry, kill, right?
Yep.
I love pasta, but I'm gonna marry pizza, and of course, I'm gonna kill Parmigiana.
Yeah. So, for you here, when you come to America, you're in New York versus when you're in Italy, the pizza is pretty different. So, was it like an adjustment to you to try to adjust to this Americanized Italian food?
So I gotta be honest with you. For the first few years, I guess it was the age and stuff. I wasn't really bothered by the difference. I could go to big chain fast food as well. I mean, I don't know if I can mention names, but like some chains, and I still like appreciate it, or I could still have like a New York slice pizza, and I like it. But now it's so hard for me. I gotta the older I get, the more stuff for me to have a pizza in the United States. That's why I'm happy when I'm in New York, because there's like 2, 3 spots that are like authentic Italian pizza,
Right?
And that's where I like to go. Even though if you talk to my castmate and good friend Luke, he would tell you that the best pizza in the world is the Minnesota pizza.
Yeah, no
I
way.
haven't tried, so I don't want to judge, but I doubt that. But I'm happy to try one day. Hopefully, I'm gonna go to see him in Minnesota one day, and I'll try this amazing pizza that he says is even better than the pizza that he had in Italy when he used to live there back in the days.
Maybe he thinks it's just so good because he's freezing in Minnesota, and just the warmth just makes it taste that much better.
It makes sense. Let's see, but one day I'll try. I don't want to judge until I try.
Yeah, that's the way to go for sure. So you grew up in Verona, Italy. So back in the day, little back then, Andrea Salerno, growing up in Italy.
Yeah.
What was your town like? What was it like growing up there?
I mean, I love my city. I always love my city since I was a kid. This is the city of Romeo and Juliet. It's like it's a pretty decent size city, because like the actual city is like 300,000 people, but the suburbs and the surrounding is like around 1 million. So it's not that small. And plus you have like a bunch of other cities close by. And I loved it. It's you can walk everywhere. You have everything, because it's one of the cities in the north of Italy that provides more services in terms of like airport, transportation. Then we have all the big stores, all the big names, because like all the big names like fashion, they're not in every single city. And Verona is like one of the like three cities maybe in the north that has all these big names as well. We have also big restaurants, also famous chains. So I never felt like excluded or like being a really like remote place. And plus, I had the luck to start traveling a lot since I was a kid with my parents. So I was traveling to all over Europe, coming to the United States, especially California. So it was a great way to grow up. But now that I'm older, I gotta say that every time I go back to my city is like my happiest place. There's no place that makes me happier than Verona, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was also nice to have a lot of my American friends through the last few years to come visit me there and appreciate the culture there, appreciate the city, and actually being really surprised, because everybody thinks, oh, Verona is like one street. And then they come there and they're like shocked for how many things that you can do, how many like things you can see. Also, last year, Carm and Lindsay, they came to visit me back in September, and they loved it. We had such a great time, and hopefully they're gonna come back so I can show them more, because like Car was like sick for 1 day, so we couldn't do as much as we initially planned. But it was great to have them, and we had such a great time.
There's no place like home, that's for sure. So,
Yeah, that's true.
how many times a year are you going back there?
I would say like 3 times a year. But in the summer, I always try to stay there longer. So
Yeah.
except for with the exception of 2021, I usually try to go for like 7-8 weeks every summer. So they go by really fast, but still, like, I try to enjoy every minute of it.
Right.
And my girlfriend is obsessed as well. She loves it.
Can't fault her. So in Verona, is it like other towns in Italy where midday everyone shuts down for nap time?
No, so here's the deal with Verona, and it's funny because a lot of people noticed that, and also like my girlfriend noticed, because we had the chance to go all over Italy. Verona is one of the cities that is always alive, because especially in the summer, it's like big. The opera is big. They come from all over the world, because we have the third biggest arena in the world, like it's like the Colosseum. But it's the difference between the Colosseum and the arena is that they still like have plays, concert. We have all like the biggest singer in the world. We had Justin Bieber, we had like Alicia Keys, Elton John, Paul McCartney. They all performed there back in the last few years, and so it's always alive. Of course, there's some stores that they close for lunch break, but at the same time, you're never gonna see the streets of the city empty. And there's a lot of going on. People go for lunch, there's bars, and then there's stores open all day long until like evening time. So I would say it's a pretty much a live city. Nightlife is not the best, but I feel like I always say that when you're past 30 years old, I think it's a great place to be.
So how all the way out there do you get Denver Nuggets games?
So it's funny. The first time that I got approached to my beloved Denver Nuggets was back in 1999. I got a basketball hat from the Denver Nuggets for my birthday. It was my 8th birthday, and I got this hat. It was like back into the McDice days. And Denver wasn't a great team back then. But I wasn't really following until the year that Carmelo was drafted.
Yeah.
It was pretty random. Like, it's not that like, oh, Carmelo, I knew about this guy, Carmelo Anthony, coming to the league. So I started like cheering for the Nuggets. It was just random, but it was like that summer. And from then, I never stopped watching them. I think back in the days, I used to get games through Satellite, like my dad. And a lot of times growing up, I was like staying up late at night, or like waking up in the middle of the night to watch them. And that's what I do when I go back there in the winter. If I go there for like a couple of weeks, I still manage to wake up and watch their games. And I've been a fan since then. So I've been there since the good days of Melo, going through the rebuilding phase, and now enjoying this great moment that the team is
this
like
could be the year,
living up to.
Nikola Jokic.
It could. Yeah, it could. If they stay healthy, I think they're playing great basketball. Like, of course, like
Andrea,
long season.
Nuggets go to the NBA Finals. Do you get to at least one of the games?
I think I would. When they went back to the playoff, and it was my first year living in the United States, and they went to the playoff back in 2019, I flew there for the semifinals to watch them against Portland. So I would probably do the same if they would ever make it to the finals. No matter how expensive it is, I got to do it once. So, I would do it. Yeah.
Did you play basketball or any sports growing up?
I actually started with basketball. I loved it, but soccer was more popular, and I was quite a talented goalkeeper. I played like a pretty decent high level also for many years, because it's not like here that you go to college and stuff. There you start like playing for the big teams when you're a kid. And so because of that, I prioritize soccer, but I would say that basketball is my favorite sport for sure.
All right. Too bad.
I wish I did.
Too bad Italy couldn't make the World Cup this past year.
They've been so bad lately. The last 10 years been
Oh, they won the
except for the
Euros
European,
2 years
yeah,
ago.
except for the European Cup that was like a miracle. No, I mean they play great games, but last 10 years, like in terms of World Cup, has been a disaster. So
Yeah.
whatever.
So you go from your soccer days and then you go to University of Verona and you're getting a
Yeah,
communications degree. So what was your mindset going in there as like what I want to do for career wise?
I wanted to become a broadcaster for an Italian TV, like work in the news.
Yeah.
I grew up like loving writing articles and like reports. So in my mindset, I was thinking to do something like that, maybe related to entertainment. And then I was ready to get a master and then get a like 2 more years in journalism as a specialization. And but my biggest wish since I was a kid was like going to the United States for a certain amount of time. I wanted to live there like 6 months at least, or a year. So I was like, okay, let me try to see if there's a master there. In the
Yeah.
meantime, I can improve my English. And as soon as I got there, I got scouted. And my life has changed. And thank God I got that degree in communication, but I was never be able to go back and get those 2 more years in journalism, which one day might happen just for fun, just because I would like to do it. But I got scouted and, everything has changed. I got a working visa. So I had the chance to stay 3 years in the United States. Then it became 6 years. And now it's been 9 years and I have a green card, which in a few years, hopefully I can, make it become like a passport.
All right.
So a lot has changed. Um, and I'm always going to be grateful to the United States. I think, I've been enjoying every day since I got here. But of course, like in my mindset, I see myself raising a family in Italy in a few years.
Absolutely. Probably too much hustle and bustle over here in America for you, but
It's just different. I start appreciating a lot of things from the European culture that before I wasn't really seeing. And I it's funny because also my girlfriend that she hasn't been like she has only been going there for the last year, but she realized that right away. So I just think it's two different places, and I know that the United States are always going to be there because I still want to come,
right.
keep coming and everything. But probably I would see myself raising a family back in Italy.
What was the biggest adjustment for you to becoming a model?
Uh, oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I ever got to ask.
Would it be that you constantly had to have your shirt off, or was that always a thing? Or at least
I
how did
mean,
you get started?
no, because I was already doing the shirtless guy at Abercrombie and Fitch in Milan when I was at
Okay,
the
so
university, so I was kind of used to that. That was like a big change. I don't know. Mm,
it all came natural for you.
I would say so. I would say so. It was like a big deal. Probably like dealing with a lot of people because I love dealing with a lot of people. And I used to do it at Abercrombie as well because you used to have all these people coming and go taking pictures and stuff. But like it was more of like a game. And modeling was like kind of a game as well when I first started. It was just like I don't know. Maybe interacting with everyone. You have
Yeah.
the makeup artist, the stylist. I don't know. Maybe what that was the different things that I experienced, like start modeling. But other than that, it was pretty natural.
So you go from modeling, and then you're in a few big music videos, Jennifer Lopez, Taylor Swift. How did you get those opportunities?
I mean, the Jailer video was basically my first job that I got when I signed with my modeling agency back in Miami. They sent me out in Hollywood, Florida for a casting, which was really weird because like you had to go 40 minutes away. There was a bunch of guys and they were making us going in a group of four and they were like, pretend to play tennis and pretend to dance. I'm terrible at tennis and I'm terrible at dance, but I'm good at making fun of myself because I don't care about making fun of myself. I think people could see that in during summer hours as well. So I was just like, I pretended to play tennis, I pretended to dance in my goofy way, and my agent called me that afternoon and said, "Oh, you got the job. You're filming next Wednesday, and then I was filming 2 days, and it was a great experience. Also because I grew up like watching J Lo, all her music videos, so it was kind of like unbelievable to be on set with her, interacting with her, and chatting and spend 2 days in her company and with her crew as well.
All right, so tell me about Taylor Swift, blank space.
I mean, Taylor Swift. I grew up. I've been a fan of Taylor Swift since her early days back in 2006, when she wasn't even known in Italy, because Taylor Swift didn't get famous in Italy until probably 2009. Until like I would say, either Letters to Juliet, which had a famous love story song, or maybe Anna Montana's movie, because she had a little part in it. So she wasn't famous back then. I was just really attracted because she was like my kind of girl, like blonde, blue eyes. That was like my dream girl, and I kind of like her music. I mean, her first album was really country, and she seemed like the pretty girl next door, and that's what I've always been looking for. I've always been looking for the girl next door. She had a kind of like a humble, like she had something that I was attracted to. And basically my agent knew. And when I first moved to New York, because before I was living between Miami and LA my first 10 months while I was in the United States, the day that I got to New York, he made me receive a letter in my new apartment, which was saying, you're going to play the next victim next to Taylor Swift and model and supermodel Shona Pride. And so I was really excited. I mean, it was a small part, but still, like, it got a lot of recognition. And it was a dream come true because I had the chance to see Taylor Swift. I didn't interact with Taylor Swift as much as I did with J Lo and after a few months with Madonna, but still was like a great experience here or there. Like being on set with her was like a dream come true. I wish I was less shy, because maybe if I was less shy, I could have made some conversation. I was like a little bit shy back then.
Yeah, and you could have been contacting her now and say, hey, your tickets, they sold out immediately. I want to meet my girlfriend, want to go to see you at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Help me out here. But
it's okay. But it still will always be one of my favorite memories.
Oh, absolutely.
Being on set with her.
So tell me if the rumors were true that you and Madonna potentially dated at some point.
No, we never dated. We met, she posted me out of the blue. We kept a friendship for many years. I would say for over 4 years. Like we text back and forth. I saw her a few times, but like always like in a, I would say in a group situation. And really sweet. She always like give me really good life advices. I have great memories. Like if you ask me about Madonna, but we never dated. Like there was never like that involvement. It was just like a good friendship that came out of the blue, and we kind of lost track of each other the last few years since COVID. I think she started dating people and stuff. So but those few years, I will always remember her like giving me good life advices, chatting. So
how'd you two meet?
We met because after that post that she made out of the blue, and she tagged me and she started following me, because she followed me for a while. Then not follow me. But she, I don't remember if I reached out to her in her DMs or she did, but I was just like, I think it was like appreciating about the picture. It was all related to the picture. And then she asked me for an email, and a couple of weeks after, I got invited to be part of her music video, Bitch on Madonna, which you can barely see me. You see me more in the behind the scene video than in the actual video. But it was fun because we filmed for like 11 hours, 12 hours. So we hang out all that night, and, we're like joking around, having fun. It was like a good memory. And then I saw her out a few times, but we always kept in touch by text until, as I said, like around the pandemic.
Yeah. All right. So how did you then get into reality TV? You first appeared on The Circle in the United Kingdom, which seems a little weird because you're in America, you're Italian. And then after that, it made more sense that you end up on Grande, Fratello,
Yeah.
VIP.
Yeah. Yeah, that made much more sense. Basically, it was random, the circle, because I got somebody DM me, one of the casting producer for the circle, the Netflix one, the US one, because they were about to record the first season of the circle US. They just came out of a successful season in the UK, and Netflix bought it for Brazil, for US, for the US, and for French. So I casted. I went all the way until the end to cast for the US version, and I was really excited. I think I would have been a great fit for that, to be honest with you. And then last minute, right before they wrapped the final cast, they called me. They were like, "I'm sorry, but we think we're gonna pass." I was like, okay. I wasn't like, I'm always been used to doing on like create big expectation in my head, because I always like try to keep my feet on the ground, take a slow pace, one step at a time. That's what my parents always taught me, and so I was not disappointed, but like, okay, it's okay. There's been gonna be something else. It's funny because before that, I got for many years from Italy, the US, everywhere, asked for dating shows, but I never wanted to do a dating show. Even if I was like kind of a playboy back in my days, I never wanted to do like dating shows. I just didn't. It was too, you only that's the goal. I like to have some freedom. That's why I decided to do all the other shows that I ended up doing. So I kind of like the concept of the circle. But then a few days after, the same casting producer called me. I was like, well, the UK is really interested in having you on their second season. So, okay, I'll talk to them. I went through, I had a couple of interviews, and they were like, okay, we want you on the Circle season 2 in the UK. I went to London, I did the promos and stuff, and then I ended up doing, it wasn't my best experience, but it was good because I broke the ice with the TV, because then I also went to the studio to talk to the host. I forgot her name, but she's really popular in the UK, and so it was a good way to lose my TV virginity, if you want to call it that way. And a few months after, the celebrity Big Brother in Italy called me. It's funny because they were talking to me at the same time I was talking to the Circle, so I know that could have been an option as well. And they were like, "We want you for the next season," and then I ended up going, and I was there from day one to the last day, and I had a blast. Great memories. It was during the pandemic, but at the same time, like, it was a great experience. The audience got really attached to me, and then when I came out, even if it was like during the lockdown, I had the chance to interact with a lot of them, going guest in a few other shows. So it was like a great experience. And then
would you ever consider doing Big Brother regular United States version?
Probably I could, because it's a shorter show, I think. And now, if somebody talked to me about it, but I think they were talking about the celebrity version. Okay. I don't know, but like I got mentioned before. I think I would do it, because I think it's also like, they asked me back in Italy, but in Italy now it's like 6 months long, and I can't afford to do that. It's too long.
Yeah, US is like 3 months.
Yeah, already 3 months, but 3 months could be a decent compromise, because I think the celebrity Big Brother in America is only 1 month.
Yeah,
1 month. Yeah, so I could consider that, but in Italy I can't do it like 6 months.
Half a year, it's crazy.
Yeah. Plus, if you have a relationship, you also gotta be respectful towards your partner, and go away for 6 months like crazy, like, and you can even have any communication with the outside world. So it would be too much. But maybe 3 months could be still a good deal, a good compromise.
Were you ever contacted for a show that's gone very international the last few years, The Challenge?
No. I had some ties with somebody from The Challenge. I'm not gonna say anything because I gotta be respectful. But somebody that was like pretty. I have a good friend of mine, Corey Ward. That's a good friend of mine. But then I also had ties to other people from The Challenge, which I'm not gonna mention. During that time, we were talking about like maybe doing it, but I never like this person. She were like mentioning like a few of like the things, the physical challenges that you got to do, and like so I was like, I don't know if I could do it. Probably now I would consider. Like I feel like I'm in a better like place also mentally. Like I don't know, more like I would say less. I would just go with the flow and have fun. But so I talk about it, but I never got contact by the production.
Gotcha. All right. So how did you end up getting contacted for Winter House?
So it was a good timing because there was two of my castmates on Winter House were good friends of mine for many years. So, and the funniest part of all of that, that one of the people that was also doing the interviews, like to make sure, because I got like invited by them, but he was also a guy that I was friend with for many years. So it was the perfect scenario, and I ended up going, and then I got really close to Kyle, to everybody else, and they were like, Kyle was like, I want you to come on Summer House as well, and then he invited me, and I went on Summer House as well.
All right. So which kind of experience you like better? Did you like just being in one place for like 2 weeks straight, or did you like, going on the weekends? And how bad was that traffic every Friday going to the Hamptons?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I feel like I enjoy more to do like all together 2-3 weeks. That's it. Also because the summer is kind of holy for me, because it's when I go back to Italy, when I see my friends. So that summer there was great on one end. On the other end, it was like, mentally exhausting because I was going through a lot of things. I was like going through a lot of confusion in my love life, all the pay triangle, then, the fact that a few months before I met this girl that I was like really into it. And, like I was like, maybe I should have fought more when she decided to end up things with me. There was a lot going on. My family wasn't there, which, at least I'm really close to my family, my parents. I'm only a child and I grew up really close to them. So even if I know that if the borders were open, they would have flew to America. So that would have made me already feel better. So I feel like probably I'm more of a kind that person that would do more like 2-3 weeks. But I definitely enjoy the summer. The summertime is, even if it was like, I wish I was in Italy, but the summertime is more my time, like I'm more of like, I like the hot weather more than the cold.
You always look like you're having a good time behind the DJ booth. And other than when you got kicked in the face, it always seemed like you were enjoying your parties.
Yeah, that was shocking, honestly. Sometimes still think about it, and it's a pretty shocking episode that happened to me. But at the same time, other than that, I had a great time. The parties were great. I truly enjoy the company of each one of my friends, castmates, and production was great. Filming, I gotta say, is so much fun. The worst part about those reality, in my opinion, is the editing, because the editing can really switch things around. Not completely, because, for example, I wasn't really happy about my editing on Winter House, but I said certain things, so I take full responsibility to say those things. Of course, I feel like they were over edited in the way that they put them together, but I said those things, so I'm responsible for saying those things. But when you film it, it's so much fun. The filming of both Winter House and Summer House, like I will always have great memories of it, because I enjoy every second, even if I was going through like mental, like like inside issues with my love life and stuff.
So this season that's airing now, you make a cameo, right? You come for as little guest spots. How is that different compared to being a full-time
So
cast
I'll
member?
be there. I don't know how many episodes, but I'll be there a couple times.
Yeah.
I gotta say, first time, which I think it should be coming in like maybe 3-4 weeks. It was easy. I felt like I never left, because it was also like their start of the season, so it was really easy for me. I felt comfortable, like it's my home,
Right.
When I went back a few weeks after, for the first time, because I can accustom to situation really easily. And, my girlfriend came along too. There was a little bit of heat in the house, because also the difference between my first weekend and the second time I went there, was all the turmoil between Danielle and Lindsay, which is something that I didn't expect. So
Right.
walking into the house with so much going on, after not being there for a few weeks, it was challenging for the first time. I still managed to be myself, enjoy, but I didn't know a lot of things that happened. So getting certain conversation wasn't as easy as it would have been if I would have been there full time. That's like something that I'm telling you behind the scene that I felt that nobody even know that I felt that way. But it was definitely like more challenging being there after a few weeks of not being there. Instead, my first time when I was at the Oz last summer, it was great. I had an amazing time. I don't know how the editing is going to be, but you're going to see it was like such a fun weekend.
So
It was good.
yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble here though, but the rumors are the next Winter House is going to be in Colorado. So to me, in my head, right by your Nuggets, perfect. Any chance you pop up there, Winter House?
No, as for right now, no. They're still deciding the cast. It would make sense for me to stop there because I would make that stop at the Pepsi Center and then go on the way to Colorado. I don't think I'm gonna pop up at the house. There's gonna be big changes. I don't know details, but I know this season there's gonna be big changes in terms of cast and like a lot of things. Also, other than the location. So and they're gonna start like next month.
So do you feel that, because obviously last summer it was a personal choice not to be on the show, do you feel like with those two shows that it's like if you wanted to do them, they'd find a spot for you, or is it kind of up to production?
Maybe now it's like kind of production because also like
the storyline will be different for you, right? Because you're in a relationship.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing that I feel like is misunderstood. I never felt like, oh, all I can bring is hooking up with girls and be the hot guy if you consider me a hot guy. And I think that's kind of like it's kind of offensive. This is between you and I never said that out loud. This is the first time I'm opening up about that. See me as just like, oh, the hot guy and the guy is there because you got to hook up with somebody. I think it's kind of disrespectful. I think I can bring much more. I can bring fun. I can bring like a light breeze. And of course, maybe I'm not a fighter. It's hard for me to get in a fight or like, but who knows? I never found myself in that situation. I think I would handle differently than a lot of my friends, but who knows? It's just like, I don't know. The door's definitely open for the summer. I wouldn't mind considering like going back like more often, like even full time. But I just want like people to understand that people like the audience, like people that work on it, that
you're
I'm not just like
there's more
yes, correct. Because I just think a lot of people don't realize that, but it becomes frustrating just to be like a piece of meat. Like, you know what I mean? The high candy. I love compliments. It really makes me happy. But the compliments that makes me the happiest is when people like describe my personality, appreciate me for the way that I am as a person, as a character, and not just based on my looks.
Absolutely.
And that's also was one of the reasons why I wanted to do reality TV. It was more like just to show more of my personality because modeling you get more of your looks, but and that's why I never wanted to do dating shows because you got to just do that. I like these kind of shows like Celebrity Big Brother. At the end of the day, I mean, it's a contest, but you're in a house and you're under surveillance for 24/7, so you can be yourself. The Circle, you can be yourself. Summer House and Winter House, you can be even more of yourself. So that's why I was telling you that filming is so much fun because you're just free to do whatever you want. So I like that. I like to have that feedback and I like to enjoy like be myself. And if I'm in a relationship, that's me. I'm happy in a relationship. So, I think I can bring other things on the table.
Absolutely.
But let's see what's gonna happen. The door is definitely open. At the same time, life goes on. I'm busy on my hand doing other things. So, but this summer I would consider more than last summer.
All right. So that's interesting that you say that. So 2 weeks ago, we had Carl Radke on the podcast, your
Okay,
castmate.
which
So
I'm looking forward to see next week. I love
if
Cara.
you're gonna see
I'm
him,
I'm a big fan of Cara and Lindsay. I gotta say,
yeah,
I know
great
that they're
couple.
going through a lot of turmoil, but I love them, and I love them together because a lot of people maybe might not see that, but they're really into each other, and I think they found themselves at the perfect time of life. So that's why I was really happy for them, and I'm happy for them like going to become like an item for the rest of their
Yeah,
life.
sure. So I asked him, I said, who would you like to see? Now, he's been on every season, return as a full-time cast member. And he said you and Luke, and you've only been gone for one season as full-time cast members. So that's a true testament to how much they liked you on the show, which is great. And he also said the big wedding is going to be this fall, November, destination wedding.
Yes.
You're getting an invite. You're going to be there?
Yeah, of course. We spoke about it last week during the premiere, and of course, I mean, I I want to be there no matter what. I'm really happy for them. It's funny because I only met one Carl, and the Carl that I met is a great guy.
Mhm.
Because I never had the. I was kind of afraid going to the summer house because I heard so many stories about Carl. I told him straight up, like after a few months after we became friends, and the Carl that I met is like a great guy. We did so many things together. Like we had some fun memories, and the fact that also he came to Italy with Lindsay was beautiful, and so I love Car, and I also love the way that my relationship with Lindsay evolved. Because I would say the Lindsay was like we became friends, but like during the winter hours, like it was like really quick, and we didn't have the chance to get to know each other. Plus, it was a lot of drinking involved, less on my end, but like in general in the house. So I didn't have the chance to appreciate more Lindsay, and then also I had the chance to hang out with Lindsay during the time she got sober, when she started in car, and I started really appreciating the way she was. So we got really close in the summer prior, and that was already good. Like we became really good friends. But then also after when she got with Car and see her like sober and had the chance to like spend quality time with her, it was like I'm glad that happened because our relationship and friendship evolved a lot, and I I'm happy for her and I'm happy for them.
Yeah, it seems like a great scenario for everybody involved, and it's nice
Yeah,
to see it unfold. And he was on, like he was very excited, so very happy for him. And
and I love Luke, of course. Luke is another underrated person. I know sometimes people point the finger at Luke, but Luke is a great guy. You gotta understand sometimes where it's coming, like his situation in certain scenarios, but he's a great guy, and he's family oriented. He's a guy that you can have fun. It's I love Luke.
so
I can only spend good words about Luke.
Luke had a great time at BravoCon. How about you? How'd you enjoy that
I love.
experience?
Oh my gosh, I would do a BravoCon for the next 10 years. I loved it. For me, just like going, meeting people, I enjoy every moment. Like I was trying to be on in the middle of the crowd as much as I could because I just love to talk, like interact. It was so nice. It was all about them. For me, it was like I tried to stay there as many hours as I could. I
Right.
was there for about 7, 8 hours per day because for me it was all about like the people that actually pay a ticket to come there. It was all about giving back. It was like the best time. I enjoy every moment of BravoCon, and I would do it again if I have the chance.
So was there any stars from other shows that you met that you maybe forged a friendship with afterwards?
I mean, I really enjoy the Family Karma people,
Okay.
all of them. I don't watch the show. I think now they're going through some. I think there's been some fights between some of them. But so I'm not a. I don't know because I don't watch the show. But they are great people. Really enjoy it. I just went to Miami and got with them. But at the same time, I kept in touch with Brian. So they were a great surprise. Um, then people from Souter Charm, of course, they were fun as well. And I didn't interact as much, but I had a great time also with a lot of the guys from Below Deck.
Okay.
So overall, it was a great experience. I didn't really interact with many housewives. I didn't have that chance. The few that I've seen, they were super nice actually, because it was what's in, I forgot, Evan, the wife of Evan Goldschneider.
Oh, Jackie, New Jersey. Yeah,
Jackie,
Jackie Goldstein.
they're huge Never Nuggets fan.
Ah,
So they approached me, and then we started talking basketball about their kids. So we had such a fun conversation, and I enjoy like the time with them. Then Alexia Nepola,
with Miami, right?
Miami, yes, because I went against her husband during the Tujaje March Madness of last year. So she was really sweet to interact. And then Lisa, which I think we know, I mean, we know each other for many years, but we didn't see each other for many years because I used to go to parties at her house in Miami back in the days. And Lisa from Miami.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was great time. It went by really fast.
Yeah.
But I enjoy every person that I met.
So, where would you say you're more recognized by fans, in America or back home in Italy?
So after the Celebrity Big Brother in Italy, I was getting stopped a lot, because even if it was COVID, then we had after I left the house, I had 1 more month of lockdown. Then the summer was great. We had 3 months that you could travel, do whatever you wanted inside the country. So I was getting stopped a lot. I have people like following me. Now it doesn't happen. I mean, there's people recognizing me. A lot of people, sometimes they DM you. They see you. They don't tell you anything. They DM you. Right now, I get more recognition in America. There's you walk sometimes through the streets of New York, and people like chase you, but in a good way. I enjoy it. Like, hey, Andrea. A lot of times my girlfriend, which is most of the time with me, she's like, is he a friend? Do you know? No, I was like, I don't know, because I'm really like, hey, what's up? I act like I know them. She gets really confused by it. So I would say New York. I would say the United States, because also like I was in Hawaii, I was at Disneyland, Miami. It happens in the weirdest spots, like Texas. Like I was in a hotel lobby, and I got like in the weirdest spots. Like one time I got chased down in Hawaii on the beach by two girls, but it was really funny. I was like, oh my gosh, we couldn't believe it was you. Can we take a picture? And I really enjoy it. Sometimes I would stay, even that I would stay hours, like interact with people that follow me. It's just like I enjoy it. It's like it's nice to interact, and I like to be friendly and get to know people.
So you got to do it. So how have you been able to leverage your social media following you've gained throughout the years? And at which part of your life journey do you think your following grew the most? Was it with modeling? Was it music videos? Or was it with a specific reality show?
No, I would say the best time for me on social media was like when it first started. The first few years were great. I was also much more active. I'm not really active right now. It's just like sometimes it's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
People underestimate social media, but like it's become an actual job. It was much easier back then, because you still were working through social media, but it was more easygoing.
Right.
So I would say more in the last few years, but then at the same time, you're following a refresh, because I noticed that I was like, you lose a lot of older, like sometimes I did it. I'm honest, like we're having a conversation, but like I went through some of my old pictures, and you click on the comments. There's some people that still follows you, but there's other people that they don't follow you anymore. At the same time, I did TV, so I gained followers from the TV shows that I make. So I would say that the following kind of refreshed, but the best years I would say were my first few years. And it's funny because I found a lot of people that now are famous. Like there was like some I don't even know the names, but I was showing to my girlfriend, like some famous upcoming actresses that were following me when they were like teenagers. Or like there was this guy in Turkey that now is massive. I don't know, it's 20 million followers, like one of the most famous people in Turkey. And back then you didn't even see, because first of all there was no the blue check as you have it now, and so you wouldn't even see who these people were. And now like it's changed. I would say that also the social media world has changed so much since the day that I started to now. It's much more challenging now. It's less fun, because back then I gotta say it was fun, and it was like a hobby, which was great. And now, of course, I mean you got to do that, but they made it really competitive. And it's not that I don't like competition. I just like to live my life. I'm busy on other things, so I give priority to other stuff rather than social media. Even though when I post and I have fans commenting my picture, I always try to answer everybody when they
Mhm.
DM me asking me questions, like tips. I always like try to answer everyone because I like to be there for them. But like I don't feel that pressure of posting every day as I used to feel a few years ago, which was more fun because it was like okay, whatever I post. Now you gotta have like the right content because the algorithm, all that
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's kind of getting to your head. So I rather like focus on other stuff that I think deserve much more of my attention.
Yeah, so I worked in video production and social media for many years, managing people's pages. So I know it's a full-time job. So
Yeah, it
it's
is.
crazy stuff.
It's really underrated because a lot of people are like complaining about the influencer, but there's a lot of work behind, especially nowadays, more than ever. Even
Yeah,
if I liked when it was natural, just because you could still do good content, but it was like you didn't have to fight against an algorithm because
right.
you were getting the satisfaction. Okay, I post good content, people appreciate it. Now they don't even show it to them.
So I'm sure you get approached all the time, like, hey, can we do this sponsored post or whatever? Are there are there
Yeah,
are there times where you turn them down because you're just like, I don't believe in this product or something like that?
I did turn a lot of clients down back in the days. Now I would say it also changed on that because before you were literally getting everybody.
Mhm.
Now you work with specific clients, and I have a manager that kind of like helps me out with it. And so it's more like you always like check with me, but most of the time I'm happy with the people that approach to do collaboration together. But back in the days, I used to turn down a lot because it was like there was a lot of CBDs that I
Mhm.
wasn't really like. I didn't want to do certain things.
Yeah,
Didn't
for
want to do
sure.
certain alcoholic brands. It was different, and also the world wasn't as open minded as it is now. Still to this day, I feel like if I would post CBD, my Italian followers they would like,
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to stick
make a
to what's true to
face.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up doing it last year, but it was a different CBD. It was like creams. It wasn't like pills or anything.
Sure.
I don't even know. So I still try to pick stuff, but I would say that I turn down less because also like I have somebody that filters those stuff for me,
Yeah.
so he knows what I like to work with, the clients that I like to work with.
Nice. So on all these reality shows, we always see you working out. So how difficult is it to exercise or maintain diet in those scenarios? And what's your typical workout routine, eating routine when you're not filming a TV show?
I mean, you can ask everybody that filmed with me a show. I mean, except for the circle, which I was by myself. They are shocked for the way I eat and what I eat. I gotta say, the last year, I would say my diet is changing, my metabolism is changing. So for the first time ever, I'm paying attention to it.
Hmm.
I'm still like yesterday, I like a chocolate cake with ice cream. So I still have cheat meals. I still eat pizza, pasta, but at the same time, I'm giving more attention. So when I was filming, it was like, you work out 5 days, you go filming for two. So whatever, just have fun with it. I've never been somebody that like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, but now during the week or when I don't eat at the restaurant, I try to pace myself and balance myself. I would say that it is all about balance. Like in life, you always gotta. I mean, the day you can cheat, but the day after, okay, today maybe I'm gonna avoid certain kind of food. So it's all about balance and also about being constant with working out. At the end of the day, I've been working out for like 12 years now, and I always try to do 4 or 5 times a week, no matter what. So it's all about the routine and keep doing it. And I don't even put too much effort because I'm used to it. So it's
Right.
automatic, but it's not that I'm like sweating or like screaming when I'm at the gym. I just do my exercises and then I leave and I feel better with myself. I think it's a great way to feel good with yourself. My girlfriend never worked out in her life until this last year, and she actually really enjoys it, and she's grateful for it. She doesn't go hardcore. I don't tell her what to do. She just do her stuff, but then she got out of the gym and she feels good. So I think it helps your mindset.
For sure. So how did your girlfriend adjust to being on camera when you did the few episodes with her for Summer House?
I mean, it's funny because she did a show before me because she did Project Runway
Ah,
on Bravo.
yeah.
So she did. I mean, it was different because she didn't have to speak, but she also went on Watch What Happened Live and be a bartender with
Yeah.
Andy during one of Andy's show. Oh, she adjusted. It was easy for her. I mean, it's funny because I think she would actually be good on camera
Hmm.
because she's a great person, but she can get sassy sometimes. So, you know, I could see her having getting some discussion with some people once in a while, especially girls. They always have a lot of drama going on. But she was really supportive. She's really supportive. She always enjoy being with me, following me up with my work. So I try to be supportive and follow her about her work because she's an interior designer and I love interior designer. I love interior design, so I enjoy listening to her, see what she works on. I would say we were both really supportive of each other.
Nice.
So I don't say she had to adjust, but she just embraced it. I was like, let's do it. It's fine. I'm happy to do it for you.
All right.
Not that I was pointing a gun at her. It's like you gotta do that. It was just natural. I would never put her in a situation where she didn't feel comfortable.
Right. That's the way you got to
Yeah.
do it. So, in your life or your career, what would you say is your I'm right moment? So, what I mean by that is a time or place where you wanted to do something or pursue something. You asked somebody for advice. They were like, Andrea, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And you said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And ultimately, I'll show you why it is that I'm right.
I mean, you made it really strong. I would say I never had such a strong moment like that. But I remember my mom was kind of scared for me doing the Celebrity Big Brother, and she was like the first one. First of all, she got moved to tears a lot. She told me during the uh, almost 100 days that I was there. And she also said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know I mean, she knew that I was a good person, but she's like, she discovered even a deeper side of me that she wouldn't expect it." I just, I just usually try to do when I do something. That's why I was saying that a lot of people wouldn't decline as much things as I declined in the past. Also talking about not just clients like social media, but also TV shows. Because I'm telling you, I got a proposed for many, many
Mhm.
dating shows, which a lot of people would say, okay, screw that, I'm gonna go do it, and I'm getting paid or whatever.
Right.
Uh, with me, I'm always being because also you get the fame, all that stupid stuff that some people are love. With me, it's always been feeling comfortable with from my days in school to my days in reality TV. Okay, I like this reality TV show, I'm gonna do it. I like this subject. I'm gonna give my best. I'm gonna go there to get the highest score because I enjoy doing it. I love this sport. I'm gonna try my best. Um, Also in love, sometimes I wasn't really fully on in a relationship because maybe I realized that I don't know, there was some limitation. And then
Right.
instead, if I'm care about somebody, also in friendship, I go full on. I'm all there for the people that I love. And basically everything I love and I enjoy, I go and I do it. And also that's why when the celebrity brought it, I told mom, don't worry. I know I can do well. And then actually it went better than I expected. But it was nice that you get that that people get attached to you for the way you are, for what you show them, that you have a heart, that you
Yeah.
are sensitive. It's nice to see that. And my mom was like, I proved her wrong, and she was happy about that.
Absolutely. All right. So, Andrea, really appreciate your time. What we always do here is I give the guest the last word. So, is there anything you'd like to share or promote? Go right ahead. The floor is yours.
I mean, promote sounds bad, but you can also check me out. My brand, my Son of Wind brand for clothing, and I'm coming out with my tequila with a group of friends. The clothing is just me and one of my closest friends from back home. And the tequila is like a group of friends, so like 6 of us. But we're coming out with a Costa tequila soon. Other than that, I gotta say, Nick, thank you so much because I really enjoyed this chat. I don't even know how much we chatted, but it felt like it went by really fast. I love every topic that you brought up, and I think I opened up on certain things that I never said before, and I appreciate it. Like I felt really comfortable, and thank you so much for chatting with me and having this great, I don't know, 45 minutes, hour together. It was great.
It's been great, and you got that tequila company coming out, so that means we'll definitely see you this summer filming Summer House to bring that tequila around to promote that the masses.
I mean, listen, as Kyle said recently in an interview, the show might be really helpful for certain ventures. At the same time, sometimes you got to risk it, and even if there's no show involved, I think it was still going to be challenging and fun. You always learn, even if you do a mistake. It's always good to learn. So no matter if I'm somewhere else or no, I'll keep going on with the tequila. If it's gonna do well, good, because we're trying to do the best product that somebody can experience in terms of tequila. If it's not gonna be appreciated, you just learn and move on and take the bad experience for a life lesson and try to not make mistakes in the future. It's all good.
Good. All right, Andrea, this has been a blast. I appreciate your time. You and I will have to sync up, get some Italian food when you're back in New York City.
Absolutely.
Some good stuff.
I'm more than happy to do that.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So that's going to do it here for this episode of You Know I'm Right for our very special guest, Andrea Denver. I'm Nick Durst, and this has been You Know I'm Right.